I've been debating whether to do this video for about a week now, and we'll see where it goes. But it's basically triggered off. The theme of it is we watched a Netflix documentary on Amy Bradley Goes Missing, and the internet has exploded. This was recently released. She went missing on a cruise ship in the Caribbean in 1998. She was 23 years old. I can't remember all the details off the top of my head. And we like watching documentaries and things. And it really stuck with me. I couldn't sleep afterwards, and for a couple of days I kept thinking about it. And so I looked on the internet to see if we could find out any more information. And at the end of the documentary, they like to make you think that she jumped off the ship. But there seems to be a lot more evidence. Well, I don't know about evidence, because the authorities failed the family. The family have been continuing and to look for her and set up lots of information, like a hub for people for years and years and years. They haven't given up hope. They still want to find her. They still think she's alive. When I went looking on the internet, YouTube especially, there is, first of all, there's a website that the family have set up with a forum with loads of information, hundreds of posts of anybody that's seen them. Oh, it's the cat. I thought it was the kid shouting me. And that's really good information, but the up to date as well. And apparently there's so much to this case. I can't think of everything to say all in one video, and I don't want to digress too much, but have a look at that website. Amy Bradley is missing. I can't remember the link. And so many mediums and psychics and people on YouTube have been making videos on this and tuning in and doing card readings. And oh my gosh, there's one lady that I really resonated with that's done 4 videos on it now on YouTube. Her name is KANDIS STARR. And she really resonated with me and her information. And so I haven't had time to go and look at every single thing. I've sort of skipped in bits. And the general census is that she was taken off the ship. She was under the influence of something that she'd taken, and try not to say too many buzzwords on this, but she was trafficked, and this was back in 1998. So the more I've looked into it, and the more that I've sat with it, the more I go back to my 20s, and I was in the travel industry, and at one point I worked for a travel agency, and I was the cruise specialist. I didn't have massive experience. They were training me up. That's why I went on a training evening, and I won a holiday to go on a cruise ship around the Mediterranean for 2 people, and I took my mum. And we had an amazing time. It was the first cruise I've ever been on, and the last. And it was amazing. But this disappearance of this woman brought back, because I was in my early 20s. And we're so innocent and trusting in those days. And you get the sense of being on a ship that everything is regulated, and you're safe. You get this impression that everything is safe. But the underground, the underbelly of society has been going on for so long, hundreds and thousands of years. These horrendous things have been happening. This was the point of my video. Thousands of years, this has been happening. These really awful things that have been, so many people and children, they go missing every year, and it's only just coming to light what's been happening, and we see it everywhere. And it's been in all the films for years. They've been trying to tell us for years, but now lots of evidence is coming out, lots of survivors are coming out and telling their stories, and the trafficking thing is massive, but it's been happening for a long time. Back to the Amy Bradley story, it happened in 98, and since then there must have been or the channeled information that's come through, it's grown, the business has grown, and the more it's coming to light, if you look into it, it's just crazy information, especially around the Caribbean. Not just there, but everywhere around the world, there's rings, and they do it in groups. One person does this, one person does another thing, one person takes pictures, one person does this, and they do it in groups, like paedophile rings and things like that. They're in high society, they're integrated and ingrained in the most such a way. It's been happening for so long, and now it's all coming to light. Back to me on my cruise. I remember putting my mum into the room because she had sunstroke that day, and I went out drinking till the early hours of the morning on my own. I didn't know anybody else on the ship. Now, luckily, nothing like this ever happened to me, but Amy Bradley, according to her family, was a real strong character, knew what she was doing. But it's so easy, if somebody puts something in your drink, you're completely debilitated, you know, and it's so easy. They're very well, these groups, they know what they're doing. They know who they're looking for. They do it on a regular basis, and that could, I just, you know, my heart sank, and I just thought that could have been me in my 20s. All sorts of things could have happened, and my life could have gone in lots of different directions, and I just feel so grateful that it didn't, and I feel so sad for the people it's happened to. So the other point in my video was that the apocalypse in the Bible or whatever is portrayed as the end of the world, when actually it means revelation, and I've forgotten the other word, but things come into light, and that is the time we're living in. I know it's awful, but essential that we see what's been happening, and we teach our children, not all the details, but to be vigilant and always know where your children are, because even though it's coming out into the light, it's still happening. And it's hard. We want to jump into this new energy, the ascension energy, this new world, which is absolutely beautiful. We want to jump into that, but we're still half connected to the old. We've still got one foot in it, you know. But we still have to put our intention. But we have to know about the old because we're still living in it, you know. So we have to be as balanced as we can. And oh my God, it's like juggling heartbreak and elation and two extremes. The extremities of balancing those is so difficult. No wonder there's so much mental illness and people are lost and we're all over the place. And oh my God, even the most grounded of us gets pulled down into these lower density energies, and we have to, yes, that's fine, allow that for a little bit, but then pull yourself back up again, integrate it into your life, realize that that's not your reality, but it is other people's realities. And if we can help those other people, it's about healing, it's about loving, allowing and observing the old to just fade away, crumble, and we will all survive with love. But my gosh, yeah, what a couple of weeks have been delving into this. Amy Bradley is missing, I think, and some things are catalysts for change, and the internet has exploded with information. So if you don't know about it, it'd be worth looking into and noticing, because it's like I've just said, it's a catalyst for finding out how these things, and the awareness is great, because if we're aware of things, then they don't have the control on us so much. They survived. These organizations and things have survived. They've been in the courtrooms, they've been in institutions that are meant to be looking after us, you know, real high level stuff, and they've survived because they relied on us not knowing. But knowing and being aware of all this and spreading information is our strength. And they are crumbling, and it's not going to continue like that. So all I'm saying is balance, be aware of the old, the collapsing, the heartbreak, be aware of all this, but stay centered and humble and connected to your own divine presence, because we all have a purpose in this story somehow, of bringing awareness or connecting to the survivors or whatever it is. But we're part of this story. We were born at this time to be part of the story of humanity. And wow, this video has gone in this way. So, oh my God, I don't off ramble, don't I? Yeah, Amy Bradley is missing. Oh my God, bless her. I really hope that it's 27 years later. I hope that she's found the amount of the situation that I feel that she's in, as she's completely changed. But just to bring peace to the family and hopefully healing for her and the whole situations that she's been in. But whoa, I'm so grateful that I'm here today in where I am, and these things didn't happen to me.